try? I try talk with my wife. That's what I found. Communication is the key to good sex. My wife and I started talking about sexual fantasies. I learned a lot. I learned that a woman's sexual fantasy is fucked up. It is. Men, we have nothing on women, all right? Our sexual fantasies are simple in comparison. What do we need? A couple pairs of breasts, some vaginas, a midget, whatever, make it happen. You know? Not so with a woman. Oh, yeah. Let's see if I imitate my wife correctly here. Sexual fantasy? Okay, Derick, I've got one. I'm lying on a beach, tied naked to a piece of driftwood. At first I struggle to free myself, but my limbs quickly grow tired with fatigue. In the distance a man approaches. And at first I entertain thoughts that he will free me. But as his muscular frame becomes more apparent, suddenly my thoughts turn elsewhere. I'm like, what the hell was that? What are we doing here? I gotta go to the garage, get some rope, some hockey sticks maybe, you know, throw some sand in the yard, you know. Where am I gonna find a muscular guy? That's my real problem. I don't know where to look for this. But as usual, I'm the idiot in this relationship, of course, because my wife, as you all know, ladies, is not looking for an exact replica of that fantasy. She's just looking for me to set the mood, right? So she dumbs it down for me. It's like, okay, Derick, could you just talk dirty to me? Could you be a dirty pirate? I don't know if you can tell by looking at me, but I'm not much of a dirty talker. You know? I have a limited vocabulary during sex. I have ooh, ah, and I'm sorry. That's all I know. You know? But I love my wife, so I try, you know, I think I can do this. And here's what I learned. The next time I'm gonna write some stuff down, maybe rehearse it a bit. And it's not that I was doing poorly at first. I was doing well, you know, you like it here, you like it there, you know, that kind of, you know where it's going. And then at some point, I said something to my wife I should never have said. I'm calling it a grammatical error. And it's really what it was, you know. And I know how it happened. I didn't make a clear decision. Do I comment on her arousal? Do I comment on my arousal? And it just kind of bumbled. And I said, ooh, baby, I'm so wet. Now, when you say something like that, your first thought is, oh my God, what am I going to do? You know, you try and you can't take it back. And the only thing I could think of was maybe she didn't hear me. You know? Even though I just yelled it into her ear, maybe she didn't hear that. And but she did hear me. And here's how I know. Because she burst into laughter. And who could blame her, really? Her husband has a wet pussy. That's funny shit. You know, that is. You know. But here's the thing about laughter right in the middle of sex. Worst possible thing that could happen, I'm going to tell you right now. Laughter before sex is great, fine, ha 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 ha. Laughter after sex, nice, ha ha ha. Laughter right in the middle of sex, forget it, it's over, okay? You've done, you're over. Clowns don't even laugh during sex. They take off their noses and they're normal for a while. Yeah, I'd rather fart during sex, to be honest with you. You know? I had tilted the pinball machine. That's the best way I can explain it. All the lights went off. The ball rolls sadly down the table. And you can try pushing those flippers, but it's lights off for your wife. So the only thing I could think of was I'm going to take a page out of my wife's book, and I just looked down at her and I said, honey, well, at least one person enjoyed themselves tonight. Thank you very much. Well, I shared a lot just now, didn't I? That was a lot of sharing. Did you guys enjoy the show so far tonight? You guys... tell you another story. This was the time I almost had gay sex, and you're probably like looking at me like, whoa, what happened? Did you pick up a transvestite? No, that's more like, surprise, you're about to have gay sex. Actually, what happened was, this is a story. This is another story. I was visiting Montreal, which, as you all know, is French and gay, and a lot of you are going, aren't those the same thing? No. I'm just kidding. And so I was in Montreal, and I like to run, and I jog a lot, and so I was jogging along the canal, the Lachine Canal. You don't have to know what that is, but if you're ever in Montreal, jogging along the Lachine Canal after 9 p.m. At night, those sounds you hear in the bushes are animals, okay? So I'm jogging along, and this guy, he's coming at me, and he stops me, and I thought, okay, he's going to ask a question, and he says, excusez-moi, voulez-vous lutter avec moi? Now I knew what voulez-vous meant. It's like, voulez-vous, okay, lutter avec moi. I was like, lutter, what is lutter? Lutter, I know this word, lutter. Ah, wrestle. Lutter means wrestle. Would you like to wrestle with me? Yeah? And I repeated it in English. I said, you mean wrestle? And he said, yes. Here's why I said yes. I like wrestling. I was on the wrestling team in high school, and I sometimes think to myself, if I would have stuck with it, maybe I would have gone on to the Olympics. So the second I said yes, the little voice in my head was like, oh, Derick, I did not know we were gay. And so he's heading to the bushes, and I'm like, oh, fuck, you know? And I'm like, okay, I should probably just run right now. Except I didn't know if it would turn into some sort of Pepe Le Pew chase scene, you know? It's just like, is if I say one, no? So instead I said, excuse me, I thought you meant wrestle for real. And so he said, oh, okay, well, we can wrestle if you want. And I said, no, I don't think that would work right now. And so he says, why? Is it because I'm gay? And I said, no, I have a lot of gay friends, and they're very good at wrestling. And I said, I just feel like you'd be wasting your time, and it's not what you want. And he said, no, it's okay. I'd be happy to make you happy. And I said, well, I don't want you to make me happy. He said, why? Why can't one man make another man happy? Why is this so wrong? And anyway, so he was very gentle. Very gentle man. Lit a candle and everything.